If you're looking for inspiration to make everyday love decor, you want to make these. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if you are new, welcome to you as well. This is Christine, so let's get crafting. This is a wooden plaque or plastic frame. I got this from Plaid. I will link this down below in my description box for you. It came with these fragment pieces, but I'm not going to be using those today. I'm only going to be using the frame. And this is from Plaid. You can get this from Amazon. I will link both Plaid's website as well as the Amazon link, so you can choose whichever platform you want to get this from. So here I'm just removing the plastic from it. It has a plastic on the inside. There, I'm showing you how it looks. It's not just a blank frame. And I gave it 2 good coats of folk art tea rose, both sides. And I started painting, not realizing that I did not cover the inside. So I took a piece of paper towel and covered that. This is what it looks like. Now I got these rub-on transfers from Amazon. I will also link this down below. I purchased them during the springtime and it came with 12 sheets. I gave away some, but I still have a lot left. So I selected the flowers that I wanted to put on here, cut them out, and here I'm just cleaning off the glass. It's not really glass, the plastic piece that's inside there. We're going to call it glass for the time being. For the sake of this video, we're going to call it glass. So I clean that off and I'm going to transfer the flowers onto this piece of canvas. That canvas pad, I got that from the Dollar Tree. So I tore out the sheet and then I'm just placing it in the middle, in the center of the frame, just to mark where I needed to cut. And once I mark that, I cut off the excess and I cut it where it can fit directly in there. I didn't have to fold it off or anything. Whatever excess was left, I removed that. So here I'm just transferring. I'm putting the transfer onto my canvas and I'm going to layer. And after I put this one down, I realized that one, I needed that at the top, so that one should have gone on last. But I didn't realize that until after I rubbed this one on. And there you see, I put a piece at the top because I was going to put that pink flowers to my right. I'm going to put that down. But here I'm just rubbing and then lifting off the carrier sheet. This can be a little difficult sometimes depending on the surface that you are transferring it on or you're rubbing it onto. Some surface it goes on easy, other surfaces it goes on with a little bit more elbow work. And there I place the pink down and then rub that on and then continue with rubbing on the orange rose on top of that. And I did that, just layering some others until I was satisfied. And this is what it looks like. Now that leaf, I had to lift that up to put something underneath, and that is why it had that crack. This rub-on transfer as well also came from the Dollar Tree. I selected that section that says I love you and I put that down. And these are applique. I made these using air-dried clay and silicone molds, and I had them in my, well, I shouldn't say in my stash. I made them and put them down to use at later dates. So that's what I'm doing here now. So I placed them on a piece of masking tape just to keep them in place, and then use the brush with the antique wax, brush that on, and then use a piece of baby wipe to wipe it back. The rose, I needed that in a different color, so I took the same tea rose and just painted that. And now that is dry, I took the chippy brush and the antique wax and just distress the frame a little, and I'm going along the grain just so it keep that same direction like the wood. after I did that, now it's time to add some Mod Podge. So I just took a piece of sponge, some Mod Podge, and rub that on. Now, adding your Mod Podge, you can do that at any stage. I sometimes like to do it this way before I do anything else. Other times I wait until I'm completely done with everything and then I Mod Podge. And then to put the canvas on the inside, I just use a little Eileen's tacky glue to put that in. I did not want to use any hot glue there. And for the string that was already on there, I just lifted one end and added some beads to it and then just placed it back under the staple and secure it, and then use some hot glue to glue down the end. I also cut a piece of cardstock, and that's to cover up the canvas on the inside. I didn't want to leave it too bare, just like that. And now I'm ready to put on the applique. I'm using some hot glue. You can use fix-it-all glue. I did not have any at the time, so I just decided to use the hot glue. And this is what it looks like, my friend. Let me know what you think about this. This is Talented Creators or Challenge. This is hosted by Aurea from DIY with Aurea, Loli from Loli D's Creation, and this month their guest host is Katie from Lady Red Crafting. All the links to the ladies' channels as well as the playlist will be in the description box below. Make sure to check them out. I got this frame at the thrift store for $1.50, solid wood. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this. I didn't want to change up the wood too much, so this DIY is going to be very easy. So I removed it from the pack, removed the back, and this was made in Taiwan. That's what I'm showing you there, and it's hardwood. So I removed those, set them aside. This little pack of scrapbooking paper came from the Dollar Tree. Selected that one, and I'm going to use some linen tool just to dry brush the frame a little, not giving it too heavy coat because I don't want to change. I still want some of that brown to peek through. So I'm just using the chippy brush to dust it on, if you want to call it that. Not too heavy, just dry distressing it. And then I still needed a little bit more, so I went again with some more paint, and just to give me a little design, I went across the four sides. If you are new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. I'm so happy you joined me today. Here on my channel, I do DIYs on a budget, dupe, look for less, and thrift flips. If you love budget-friendly DIYs like these and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and be sure to hit that notification bell. Hit it again and select all so YouTube notifies you whenever I upload new videos. Here I am adding some Mod Podge. I used the sponge and just put the Mod Podge on there, rubbed it on, and then used the heat gun to dry it. And now I'm ready to add my insert. So I took the insert, the piece that came from the inside, and just measured that as my guide, trim down the sheet, and then clean the mirror or the glass, not a mirror. Clean the glass, and here I am just reassembling all the pieces. And this is what it looks like. Now I did not want to toss out the pieces that I trimmed off, so here I'm just adding them back to bring a little of the inside outside. And I just use the stick glue to do that. And this frame has a little rustic, nonchalant feel about it, and I love it. Now here are some birthday shout outs for the month of January. Tabitha, Donna from Donna's Creation and More, Cindy from Z9 Designs, and Cheryl from Home Rate Studios. Ladies, happy birthday to you. May you have many, many more to come. Lots of joy and blessings your way. Now our third and final inspiration is already rolling, so let's jump in. I got this sign from Dollar General and it says love. So here I'm just removing the sticker from the back. I'm going to remove the paper from the top of this. Now it was a little challenging getting it off just by itself, so I decided to spritz it down, place a piece of napkin over it and left it to soak. And after it soaked, this is what it looks like. We're going to do the crackle effect on this piece, so I took some school glue and I'm just putting that down. Then I took a brush and brushed that on, going in one direction. Now it doesn't really matter whether you go up or down with the school glue, once you get enough on there as much as possible. Okay. So once I had enough on there, now I'm going to use these paints. Now don't ask me why I use that multi-surface Pueblo paint. I love it. It's very pigmented, but I shouldn't have used it here. And as you can see, I needed a lot of white to kind of bring that down a little bit, and it still wasn't down as much as I wanted it. I should have just abandoned this mixed paint and just go with something else, but I didn't. I proceeded. So now I took my brush and I'm going in one direction, and you want to make sure that you empty the brush of all the paint with one stroke, because if you start to go in the middle, like touching in the middle, then it's gonna leave mark. And then I realized that, okay, so I need to add the paint to the sides as well. So after I put the paint on, I took the heat gun and I'm drying it. I'm not sure if you can see it start crackling, but that is the effect that I wanted. And I think this came out perfect. Love it. But somehow I did not like the paint, the color paint. So I went over it again with a little bit more glue, because I have to change this color, and I still wanted the same crackle effect. So I added some more glue, took another brush and added some white. I think this is coconut milk. So here I'm just adding the coconut milk. And then I took the heat gun and dry it, and it started to crackle. Was satisfied. Yeah. So these letters, large letters, came on a pack from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just selecting the letters to spell the word Jesus. Cut those out, and I'm going to lay them down and then just peel and put this down. I'm just eyeballing the lines just to make sure that they are lined up evenly. Now I don't throw out the piece that I peel off, because you can also use those as stencils. So I'm going to keep those. So once I put that down, here we spell the word Jesus. Now this wasn't quite done. I took a black ink pen and I wrote the word is love. Freehand that, just write it down. You can use stickers, you can if you have a Cricut, you can cut that out. Whatever you choose to use to give you your ideal design. And then I took the fine point Sharpie and just went over that to spell Jesus is love. Of course he is. He is love. He loves you so much. And then I had these little rose. This came from the Dollar Tree many years ago. I think I had used them before, and they turned up, so I decided to use them again. So I'm going to glue those on, but before I did that, I added some Mod Podge just to seal everything else, and also to tone down the sheen from the stickers. If you happen to be on my channel just by clicking on that thumbnail that you saw and you are watching, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming over to watch. And of course, if you're coming from any of the other channels and have not yet subscribed, I would love if you would do so before you leave, and make sure to click that like button as well. Share, comment, because I enjoy reading your comments. Now once I added the Mod Podge and dried that, now I'm gluing on the roses. And I did not add any Mod Podge where I'm gluing that on because I know I would be adding some hot glue there. So once I glued that on, it looked too plain. So I took some lamb's ear, just cut a few small leaves, and I'm going to add those. Everything looks good with a little greenery, don't you think? Here I am just trying to determine the best place to place them before I actually start gluing. So next I am going to add the string, actually the string that came from this piece. I don't know where it is. I probably used it for something else. This roll of jute that you see in the corner there, I had made a jute ball some time ago and the ball collapsed. The balloon on the inside deflated and the cord wasn't dry all the way, so it started sinking. So I just, you know what, I'm not gonna destroy my jute. So I just unravel all of it and put it on this roll so I can reuse it some other time. So I cut a piece of that and strung it from the back to the front, tied the ends, and then I took a bead and used my miter shear to just cut that in two. I love this thing so much. I will link this down below. Every crafter needs to have a miter shear. That's just what I think. And I'm going to glue them over the end of the jute just to cover that up and to give it a finished look. And then I flipped it over, took a piece from a brown paper bag. I just cut a piece from that and used some tacky glue to glue that onto the back of my sign because I want to cover that. And then use a sanding block to trim off the excess, just rubbing it in a downward motion to cut that off. And I believe that completes my sign, my friends. Let me know what you think about this. In the season of love, I just want to share this Bible verse with you. John 3:16, it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life." Now with that said, let's head on to the final reveal. Now here are our three beautiful, neutral, everyday Decor, Valentine, or love, if you want to call it love, or if you want to call it Valentine decor. These DIYs you can keep in your home all throughout the year. They're not just for Valentine's, but let me know which one of these is your favorite today. Don't forget to check out the host channels down below. That's Aurea, Loli, and Katie, as well as the amazing playlist filled with lots of inspiration for you. We were crafted from her stash this month, so be sure to check them out. If you enjoyed the content and would like to watch more, I suggest this video right here. And stay safe, my friends, until my next one. Bye.